Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I made it into the room. Everything's smooth. A little awkward. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because I got here before the guy in front of me, and the lady made. I heard them say we cleared up 2 rooms, and she got the guy after me first. And when I walked up, and it was one of those situations where I was like, even though I knew she was talking to him, I walked up to the to the booth where she was at just to see if she was going to do the right thing, because clearly I was first. But she was like, no, I was talking to him. I'm like, I know. And I just walked back to my seat, played it calm. Doesn't help that the guy was white, right? But see, this is not a situation where I get mad at the guy. I understand that that was her who did that, and that's what ends up happening a lot of times. We get, oh, I can't say we, but sometimes my first inclination is to maybe look at the person who needs to then say, well, no, he got here first. But that's not his job. It's her job to know that I came first. I'd been sitting in that lobby about 35 to 40 minutes before that man even walked in the door. So it was a little awkward. But racism is a real thing, man. She's an Indian lady. And it's one of those situations where when I first walked in, I asked her if there were any room, if there was a way I could check in early. And she said, there are no rooms available. And we were on the wrong page, because I thought that meant that the room I reserved was not going to be available, when she was actually saying basically when they clean one, we'll have it for you. But that's not how she worded it. And so we weren't already on the same page, because I was a little confused. I'm like, I did reserve the room, da-da-da. She was like, no, but they're cleaning. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, no problem. That's all I wanted to know, if it were possible I could check in early. If not, now wait. And so I just took a seat and minded my business, did what I do with my phone. Spent probably about an hour, nothing too serious. I had more than an hour's worth of stuff I wanted to do with my fantasy teams, since basketball and football is all happening at the same time. I've been sitting there doing that the whole time, and I'm still not done. So I knew I could kill an hour of time. But that situation was awkward, man, because it's just like you want to raise hell, but you also don't know the fullness of what was going on. For all I know, he came in before I got here. You see what I'm saying? So I got to leave room for that. As an intelligent individual, you can't often assume that that guy may have came 20 minutes before my Uber arrived and left, and then came back and sat down. That could have very well been what happened. So I'm smart enough to know that, and just had to let it play itself out. So that's why I'm not getting on here saying racism, blah, because there is a scenario that the Lord is allowing me to see where that wasn't what actually happened there. But I thought it was worth saying either way. So it is what it is, man. I think the guy was feeling a little awkward about it, because right now I just saw him going through the hallway, and I was like, hey, go ahead. It wasn't your fault that happened, and I'm not even sure that's what it was. And he was like, no, please go ahead. And I'm like, yeah, I will. Like, no problem. You know what I mean? But I want him to know, like, I don't have any bad energy with you, because she appeared to choose to serve you before me. I think we both know that that's not great. You know what I mean? That's not a great thing. But if there's any chance that you were here before me and may have left, I don't want to ruin my rapport with people around here on something that could possibly not be what it seems. So it is what it is. But I can tell you this, I was definitely sitting in that lobby for 20 minutes before he appeared. I will say that. Maybe a little more, a little less, something like that. Somewhere between 35 and 40 minutes to 20 minutes, I guess you can say, because I don't remember exactly when I got here. But the good thing is I got the room closest to the door. So whatever room they gave him was further away. So I got a lot of stuff that also could be part of it. So, I'm good. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I got where I needed to go. I got my deposit from the last place. I put down a $100 deposit here. Last time they gave me 86 back, and I don't know what I did that would have docked me $14 in the last room. I left it clean. There was no weird stuff going on in terms of timing, leaving the room. I got out of there well before 11 o'clock, so I really don't know why they docked me $14. But if they do it again, I will give them a call. Like, what do I need to do to keep from being docked? Because if I put down $100 deposit, I expect to get 100 back, not 86 4 or 5 days later. So this is, little stuff like that makes you say, okay, man, we're gonna see how this goes the second go round. If it don't go well this time, this is already looking a little weird. You know what I mean? So that's what I will say. I'm at the Makeda Hotel. I enjoyed staying here last time, but those are two things that I ain't really all that sure about. So I'm just letting everybody know. But I'm in. I'm here. It's 1:37. So it ain't, it ain't been that long. Like I said, I don't think I was in that lobby for more than probably an hour at the most. And I'm happy. I'm set in this place, and I had to put down the $100 deposit, but I already understood that. Now I gotta figure out what I want to do with the rest of my day. I kind of want to go to maybe one of those grocery stores and grab some grapes or something like that, maybe some lettuce, since I do have a fridge in this room. It's identical to the last room. It looks just like the last room, so I don't know if all their rooms look exactly alike, but this one doesn't have much difference to it. Different shaped bathtub, different walk-in closet area, but other than that, it's the exact same layout. Very comfortable. And hopefully we'll be able to get me a contract next week with the Studio Lodge. That'll make it so I don't have to stay here for an extra day or try to find another place to stay tomorrow night, which has only happened one time, but of course you guys know that happened 2 times ago. So I wanted things to go smoothly. All things considered, it was very smooth. I had a good ride over here. Like I said, I've been in the lobby enjoying myself with my fantasy basketball and football stuff, and now just gonna kill a little time before the game starts at 7 o'clock. And of course I'm gonna have all the stuff for those Laker fans of mine who are interested in what I do there. We're in full effect now, so it's just a matter of time before I'm in a swing of things when it comes to that. Preseason helped, but I still got a little rust to shake off, and looking very much forward to that. So of course there's a game before that I won't cover, but I might get a chance to watch it like 4 o'clock, the Knicks and the Celtics. So that should be a little bit of something to watch for the Laker game. But yeah, man, I don't know if I want to get out of here or not. Honestly, feel very comfortable right now. Of course I gotta put some stuff in the fridge, but other than that, ain't no unloading to be done. I did call to cancel my therapy session with Lydia, but once again, another snag at their office. The lady told me she was going to call me back to tell me if one of the spots that I wanted to take, which is an hour from now, would have been available, and she never gave me that call back. It's been like 4 days since I spoke to her, so yeah, issues there. Issues with that office that we discussed on this channel. Everything with me and Lydia is great, but the liaison, I guess you call it, or whoever's at the front desk, it's hard to get a smooth thing going with them. I've had a couple snags there. Very nice people, but just stuff like this. Or you sit there waiting for them to get to you, they never do, kind of stuff. So it's like, this is another one of them situations where I know Lydia's not going to be happy, but I did have to cancel because, I'm nowhere near a train station, so it's not like I could rush over there and be a little late. It's not happening. So, yeah, I was able to cancel, but not reschedule. So that's something I need to get on top of because, well, quite honestly, it's going to take more proactivity from me in order to get that done, which is not how that's supposed to actually go. Not at all. But, yeah, man, everything else is smooth, man. I feel pretty good. Got my exercise in this morning. I did my hundreds this morning. I did it after I did that video last night, the little 7-minute video. I was telling y'all what's going on and said I would not do my hundreds. After I finished the video, I actually did them. That's something that I've been doing a lot too, which is a very good thing, but it's just like misunderstanding what I guess I'm willing to do for whatever reason. I'll say I don't want to work out, and by the time it's time to get in the shower, I end up guilt tripping myself into working out. So I guess it's a good problem to have, man, but that's what I've been doing a lot of the times. I think most of the time when I've said on this camera I'm not going to do my hundreds, I end up doing them, like most of the time. So they've been done this morning. I don't have to do anything else in that regard, but yeah, that's something I wanted to point out. I want people to know I have been doing more work than I probably tell y'all I do in that regard, because a lot of them times I'm walking down the street thinking I'm just not going to do it. I'm not getting in the house and I'm like, I feel uncomfortable until I've done it. I don't even want to get in the shower until I've done my workout. So yeah, man, I'm hopefully that can translate to me getting in better shape. I've been cutting down on my intake of oatmeal in the morning. I eat like half of a bowl instead of a full bowl these days. So that is also something I hope yields the results I'm looking for and get back in the shape I was in last year around this time, which is, you know, what my goal is. So yeah, man. One thing I did like that I purchased was the seasoning that I bought last time I was on this side of town at the Whole Foods, somewhere about 6-7 blocks down the road. I may go to that Whole Foods again to get that specific seasoning, because when I put the seasoning I have there now and that seasoning together, whew, it's amazing. But I had run out of it. The last time, it was the last little bit left and the beginning of the seasoning that I had purchased. So it was like, let me just finish these off. And I was so unhappy that I didn't save that entire bottle for when I had new seasoning here, because that little combination was about the best rice I had made for myself, period, on the side of town. So that may be the move. I'm gonna go down there right now, and if I can find the place, because I stumbled across it last time after walking for like an hour or whatever it was. So we'll figure that out. And that's really it, man. Just want to give y'all an update. I'm at peace, man. At the end of the day, it's not always what happens to you, it's how you react to it. And if you know that you're due something that you haven't been given, or you know somebody made a mistake that they probably shouldn't have made, that may have slighted you, sometimes it's in your best interest to do nothing at all, because the enemy can manipulate those situations to make you very guilty and make it so that you miss opportunities to do the right thing within a situation, maybe seeing it a certain way to keep you from losing your cool or something like that. So this is one of those situations where it's like, I was raised, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, I was raised to raise hell by example. My mom raises hell in any of those situations. Anytime anything like that happens, she's talking to the manager, she's bringing it up, she's making a thing. And I'm not naturally as confrontational as to do that. And I see the scenario where maybe this is not what it seems, and then I make enemies where it's not necessary, or accuse people of being a certain way that's just not. You don't want to do that unless you're certain, especially in these times where people really come down on people for being racist. So it's like, you better be damn sure that's what they're doing, or you could really be on the wrong side of it. So for me, it's like, I'm like 80% sure that they're being racist, but there's 20% that holds a lot of credence with the scenario I see there. So I didn't ask any questions, so I'll never get a confirmation. But I don't feel like it's in my best business to raise hell on that behalf. I don't know how many more times I'm gonna want to be here. I don't know what else people can do. Like I said, they docked me a little bit, as we talked about, on my return. I don't know what constitutes that. I just don't want the issues when I'm not certain. You know what I mean? So what we always do in these situations is keep our cool, and then keep a mental Rolodex of what is taking place. And then if you want to raise hell later on, if things start to pile up, you have plenty of evidence, or you just sit back and watch God do what it is that he does, because he's always going to show you. If you're patient, especially if you don't raise hell, he's always going to show you that whoever did whatever, if they weren't on the right side of things, you're probably going to witness them go through something. You're probably going to see it not work out for them. It never fails. Because the idea from a spiritual standpoint is to trap you into a space where you're too doing something you have no business doing, so that the devil can snatch it, both of y'all, in whatever way, shape, or form, so that you both can suffer for your actions. But if you keep yourself from putting yourself in those situations where you deserve, while someone else deserves for doing whatever they did to you, in a lot of cases, if not most cases, you're probably going to witness them go through something that directly makes you smile, knowing that they deserve it. So that's also something my mother taught me. In so many ways, just be patient, let God handle certain battles, and you leave room for all things to be equal, even when they appear not. And if you handle yourself that way, in a good portion of times, the truth will be revealed and you'll come out on top. So that's really what I got to say about that, man. I don't doubt that I deserve to be treated fairly, just like he does. You know what I mean? Everybody does. And if he came first, if he did show up before I got here, then there's no complaint. No harm done. If anything, I would tell her, yeah, you take care of him. Not because of the presence of me looking black and him looking white, and it could be racist. You take me first. So, no, you take who is first. That's what I want people to do in these situations. I don't mind waiting. I'm not entitled to anything in that regard. Just fairness, just like I'd ask for anyone else. So that's really what it's about, man. I don't want to be caught up in arms about identity politics, especially in a world where things are really bad right now for people, man. I think that a lot of times that's the very trap that keeps us from being indifferent, or keeps us being indifferent to other people suffering, because we're too busy worrying about what happened to us, how people did us, and how we feel about it, and who deserves what. And if everybody's up in arms like that, then there's definitely some people getting treated poorly out here. And I think that's the problem. I think that is the absolute problems. And if you really look at the crux of the conversations we've been having about the genocide specifically, that's kind of what it is. You got Zionist people up in arms about their importance above others, and how they feel about that, and who's coming after them, and how they feel about that. And then it trickles down to them feeling entitled to be able to do this, and they take it to whatever horrible extremes that their minds will allow them to take it. It starts here, though. It starts with I'm due something, I deserve something, somebody did something to me, and I'm proud within my skin. That pride, therefore, weaponizes itself against others, and then from there, unfairness ensues. We got to find a way to find that pride within ourselves, and also leave credence for other people to be given fairness, so that when we are applied that, we're due that and deserve it. And that is a challenge when people have been treated poorly in whatever way. You see, with the Holocaust, they feel like they're deserving, allegedly, because that whole situation looks crazy based on what we're seeing right now. But the point is, they had bad done to them. Now they need to find a way to get right, and they're taking it out on others instead of being more constructive about how they feel about that pain. So that is what we don't do. That's what we don't do. We got to be more intelligent than that. We got to be more self-loving in a sense of what we do, to reflect positively upon ourselves as we live whatever way we do. And we definitely don't want to create enemies in situations where it's not necessary. And a lot of times it's really not. So that's my point of view, man. Prayers out to everybody going through anything that's much worse than anything I can relate to. And if more people think like that and pray like that, I think we'll have a lot more empathy about it, one another, and a lot less entitlement and supremacy in this world. BDL 44, I thank y'all for watching. Out.